danced with a man, who's danced with a girl, who's danced with the Prince of Wales. It was simply grand, he said, topping band, and she said, delightful, sir. Glory, glory, alleluia, I'm the luckiest of females, for I've danced with a man, who's danced with a girl, who danced with the Prince of Wales.
Seems in good heart.
The better for seeing you, sir.
Well played, and jolly well done.
Osborne, would you please go and bring in the champagne?
Madam.
She seems to think her role is that of hostess.
Sybil, no muttering in corners. Now come and have a glass of champagne and be amusing to the rest of our guests. Champagne, everybody! Sir, Ernest looks a bit down. Could you go and say something nice to him?
Such as? I'm fond of that, Miss Wallace, but it isn't easy.
Why don't you thank him for the stamps he sent you for your collection? Not leaving us, Chips.
With His Royal Highness's kind permission, yes. I have a plane to catch early in the morning.
On Sunday, is it business or pleasure?
Neither. Family. Routine visit. Very boring.
Oh, well, just say to yourself, this day too shall pass, as all such days will pass. It makes the time go much quicker.
I can't see why that should help at all.
But if you say it first thing when you get up and with determination, it puts you in the right frame of mind for enduring the rest of the day.
Do you use this formula, Wallace?
I'm never bored, Chip, so I don't have to.
I must be off. This family visit, too, will pass as all such visits must pass. How's that?
Not bad, but you have to say it just as you get up in the morning.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Don't be. It's delightful. I love to see an Englishman on his knees before an American.
Wallace, you're forgetting that Chips, too, is transatlantic.
Good night, sweet ladies.
What's this I hear about Wallace saying that she's the first woman who's taken an interest in his social schemes?
That's certainly the story she puts across.
She's forgetting Frida Dudley Ward and all the loyal help she gave him over many years.
Well, certainly the Feathers Clubs are hers, but none of Mrs. Simpson's predecessors took much interest. Despite which, I doubt she's the true successor, in the full sense.
Tell me, what odds did you lay against her becoming, sir?
There is an obstacle. Over there by the window. Despite which, I'd say, odds on.
Really? Oh, God, not again.
The club sandwich is a toasted two-decker sandwich with cold chicken, lettuce, and mayonnaise on the bottom, and bacon, sliced hard-boiled egg, and more lettuce and tomato on the top.
Indeed. An American invention.
Yes.
And very nice it sounds, madam.
Yes, I think His Royal Highness will think so, too. They'd make an ideal luncheon by the pool today.
I'm sorry, but the menus for the weekend have already been drawn up. Another time, perhaps, madam.
Today, please.
Love is the strongest thing, the oldest, yes, the latest thing. I only hope that fate may bring love's story to you. Love is the sweetest thing.
Lunch, Wallace. Anyone hungry?
Diana, stop. I do hope they serve my club sandwiches.
Club sandwiches?
An American specialty. I thought you'd like them. As a matter of fact, I suggested it to the head chef, but I don't see any.
Husband, where are the club sandwiches that Mrs. Simpson asked for?
There was no such thing on the list, Your Royal Highness.
But Mrs. Simpson says that she asked for club sandwiches.
Suggested, sir.
Very well suggested. And if Mrs. Simpson makes a suggestion, you'll comply with it.
Oh, please, not now. It'll take far too long. Besides, it's Sunday in the kitchens as well. There'll be plenty of other opportunities. Lunch, everybody.
Gracie.
Listen.
What will you have? That looks awfully good to me. Will you have some of that?
Ernest, I must talk to you.
I've had to bring home a lot of work.
Ernest, please, I must talk to you first.
You mean I must listen to you first?
In August, the prince has taken a house in Biarritz.
Biarritz?
We're invited to be his guests, Ernest. It's an opportunity not to be missed.
Well, there's nothing very special about Biarritz.
But there's something very special about the Prince of Wales. It won't be Biarritz this summer. It'll be wonderful.
Wallace in Wonderland. Overcrowded and inordinately expensive.
We are invited, Ernest.
Oh, well, that will temper the expense, but not the overcrowding.
I scarcely think the prince's accommodations will be overcrowded.
Oh, it certainly won't be by me. Now, as you well know, Wallace, I'm off to America in August on business. Now, strictly speaking, it is your business to accompany me. But let us not speak strictly. If you wish, you shall go to Biarritz.
Thank you, Ernest.
I hope I'm not disturbing you, Mrs. Merriman.
Not at all, Major Aird. Come along in. I'm helping the prince, but he's not supposed to know. I do a little when he's not around.
Like the fairy tale.
That's right. I'm patient Griselda.
You must be quick. His Royal Highness will be joining us at any moment.
Oh, he won't be joining us at all. I do hope you're managing to have a little time to yourself. Or is being an equerry a full-time job, even on holiday?
Even on holiday, Mrs. Merriman.
Oh, then I'm better off than you. When Wallace asked me to come to Biarritz as her chaperone, I thought of it first and foremost as a vacation, because Wallace is unlikely to come to any harm. I was remembering. I brought Wallace to Europe on her first visit. That was in 1927. Now that she's settled in England, well, that gives me a further excuse to travel. I do so love it, don't you, Major Aird? It broadens the mind.
So they say, Mrs. Merriman. You said His Royal Highness won't be joining us.
That's right.
And your niece?
She won't be joining us either. They just wanted to slip off quietly along the coast somewhere.
I wonder if that was wise.
Oh, she confided in me. You can't blame them for wanting to steal a little time.
No, of course not.
Oh, was there something planned?
No, not exactly, no.
Then there's no real harm done, is there?
I suppose not, Mrs. Merriman.
You seem disturbed. You think a chaperone should be seen to chaperone. Oh, they just wanted to be on their own for once. I imagine privacy is one privilege seldom granted to a prince. It's all quite innocent.
His Royal Highness has privacy so long as he stays within the party.
You think he should be looking for a wife of his own, rather than be seen dining with someone else's?
Well, I wouldn't have put it quite as strongly as that.
You mustn't mind my American straight talking. But I'll do my best to see it doesn't happen again, Major Ed.
Great family consternation. So you see, I didn't know my father. He died when I was 6 months old, and Mother and I became dependent on relatives, and they didn't understand either one of us. Perhaps I'm boring you with this story, sir.
No, not at all. I want to know all about you, Wallace.
It's such an ordinary story from an ordinary woman.
An extraordinary woman to me.
How very kind of you to say so, sir. But that's what's so extraordinary about you. All this endless consideration by a royal prince for a woman from nowhere.
Nowhere?
Everywhere. I was born and bred in Baltimore, which we would say I came from good southern stock. Equips a woman for nothing but to be a wife.
And you were very young when you married your first husband.
Yes, I was very young and very romantic. Wynne was a naval officer, and I thought it was the perfect way to escape my circumstances. It was a mistake.
We all make.
Yes, I suppose so. Sir.
What is it, Wallace?
Do you think we're making one now? I mean, shouldn't we have warned the others that we were going off alone?
If we hadn't slipped off, they'd have tried to prevent us. You're not the only one who wants to escape, Wallace. We've a lot in common, you and I. A lot to share. I think a lot to give.
You have much more to give. But whatever I have, you're most welcome to it. Especially since this happiness comes rather late in the day.
But not too late. Do you know what I'd like?
What?
I wish that we could do this much more often. Just the two of us.
Sure.
Will you come with me on the Resort?
The Resort, sir?
It's a yacht activity. We'll all take a holiday cruise. Do you like that idea?
Sir, I hope you realize what you're doing.
Yes, I know exactly what I'm doing.
Ugh. You're taking me into an enchanted world. It really is Wallace in Wonderland. I thought we'd have coffee together before you go, Aunt Bessie.
Oh, I must say I've enjoyed my holiday. But I don't know how well I've done my job.
You behaved beautifully. I knew you would.
I don't think His Royal Highness's staff would altogether agree with you.
Oh, never mind Jack and you. You were the perfect chaperone. His Royal Highness enjoyed having you here.
Well, I must say he made me feel most welcome.
Are you sure you won't go on the Rosora with us?
No, I can't change my plans now.
Well, I changed mine. Why can't you change yours?
Oh, we'll meet up later in Italy.
Oh, you don't mind going alone. I feel I've let you down.
Oh, of course not. An invitation from a prince? Well, that's irresistible. Of course, I understand. But are you aware of what you could be letting yourself into?
What do you mean, Aunt Bessie?
Oh, you know perfectly well what I mean. Don't be reckless, Wallace.
Reckless?
You are a married woman.
Well, I'm very well aware of my status, Aunt Bessie.
Well, then, behave as if you are.
Don't you think I am?
I think there's a danger that you may not.
The prince is a friend to both of us. Ernest was invited as well. If it weren't for his business commitments, he'd be here with us now.
Look, I'm only bringing this up because I don't want to see you hurt. It's happened once before. It's my duty to warn you it could happen again.
How could I possibly be hurt?
Well, in the past, you've had to live modestly. Well, there's a danger you might get a taste for the new life, and that, well, just isn't possible for you.
What you're trying to say is I should have turned down the prince's invitation.
No, what I'm trying to say is be careful, Wallace, then all will be well.
I will, Aunt Bessie.
Well, and how are you going to explain all this to Ernest?
Well, you're assuming that something has changed. There's nothing to explain to Ernest.
Good. Well, I've had my say. I'm glad that's now off my chest. I'll see you in a few weeks' time. Have a lovely holiday, Wallace.
I will, Aunt Bessie. Now, you come and say goodbye to His Royal Highness. He's in the garden.
I've heard David has arranged for his entire party to sail on to Cannes. Including that woman?
Entire party, I said.
I see, from Biarritz to Cannes.
And they're not starting for another week.
It will have been a long holiday.
And that wouldn't matter so much. It's only been another kind of holiday.
But it will end at Cannes.
It must. His diary's already been made up.
Paul!
I say, well done, sir.
Well, that was splendid. Now, why do you call it a pigeon? It hasn't got any feathers.
Think of it as plucked, Wallace.
All right, Jack, I will, as long as I don't have to cook it.
Now you have a try.
Oh, no, sir, I'm not the sporting type. I'm happy just to be a spectator.
Well, have a go. It's very simple.
I'll load, sir.
Well, I'm petrified. I've never even held a shotgun, much less fired one.
Come on, Wallace. Where's that famous frontier spirit?
Well, we chased Indians out of Baltimore to Hollywood years ago. I'm game.
Good. Now, feet apart.
Yep.
Bring the gun up into the crook of your shoulder.
Yep.
Hold it firm.
Yep.
That's it. Look along the barrel.
Gotcha.
Now, when the clay comes up, get in your sights and fire.
Uh-huh.
You ready?
Ready.
Safety catch off.
Uh-huh.
Now shout pull.
Oh! Did I hit it?
No, not that time, but have another try. And this time, don't close your eyes when you squeeze it.
I wonder what's down there.
Miles and miles of rope.
Of course. You were bred to the sea.
Trained to it.
Well, they say naval training is excellent for other disciplines as well, sir. Like being a prince.
About being a man.
There's nothing wrong with the man, sir.
You sure? You go?
No, sir.
Should we get you a wrap from your cabin, Wallace?
No, it was something else, sir. But in either case, I really must go in.
Oh, must you go? Don't go yet, just please.
I think I really must. Good night, Your Highness.
Wallace, you mustn't call me that.
Very well, sir. Good night, my prince.
Excuse me, sir, but in an hour we'll be coming into Toulon. I expect you'll want to change.
What do you mean change, Jack?
Well, put some more clothes on, sir.
Oh. Would a hat do?
Well, it's a start, sir. Hugh has been advised there may be compliments, so he asked me to let you know.
Well, I'm only here as a tourist.
Yes, but nevertheless, credentials and so on, you know the French. They might take offense.
Do you really think so, Jack? Well, in that case, you better tell Hugh to keep him away.
If they insist, sir?
Well, if they insist. Prince is a man. Since I'm only here on holiday, the French will have to take me as they find me. Isn't the end of the world not to wear a shirt, Jack?
No, sir. The only thing is the informality, casualness might offend.
What? Oh, look at my informality. Tell me, could it possibly offend?
It may be taboo to see a prince half-dressed, sir. Certainly he's very handsome.
Well, Wallace, was I good today?
I think so, sir. You didn't please poor Hugh, but you were sunny-tempered with him and everybody else.
Hugh's so straight-laced about such things. Do please put some clothes on, sir. Stuff to make you want to rip them all off. What's so funny?
You are, sir. You're so absurd, so extreme.
Oh, isn't it heavenly to share every scheme with you, be able to dine with you and dance with you and dream with you. Oh, isn't it heavenly, just heaven on earth to be with you. struggle and strive with you, to have the delight to be and right, to be alive with you. Oh, isn't it heavenly, just heaven on earth to be with you.
Well, we could go on. You don't have to break up the party.
With respect, you have engagements, sir. In order to meet them, you will have to travel straight to England by special train the moment we reach Cannes.
But what if I fly?
Well, that would give you 1 day's grace. No more.
But can't anything be cancelled and some excuse found?
Yes, sir, they could be cancelled and some excuse found.
Well, cancel everything. Yes, cancel everything for the next 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Oh, just this once. I know you can fix it.
Yes, of course, sir. I'll do my best, but it won't be easy.
I know, and I'm very grateful, but I just do so much want this extra time to myself.
David should have been here, helping me with my guests. He knows I'm too ill, too old to take an active part. He knows how important it is that one of the hosts should be able to take such a part. Make sure that everything's properly done. Not just sitting on his arse in the back of a car accepting other people's word for it.
He never said he'd be here this year.
God send enough birds. No, he never said he would be here. But he had other firm engagements, all of which he's broken to prolong this carnival progress over Europe.
They were only minor engagements.
Engagements to relatively small people. To small people. And therefore engagements carrying the greatest obligation of all. Was my son? Surely he should know that.
He was always taught that.
Send enough birds for good sport. What sort of a woman can she be to lead him a dance like this?
Can I get your drink, Wallace?
Oh, I'm sorry, David. I was in another world.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you. I wonder if you'd like something cool to drink.
Oh, that would be lovely, but I don't want to put you in any trouble.
It's no trouble. Come on, Jack. You have a go. I'll show you. Come on, Jack. Very good. Well done.
You want a hand up?
What is that book you're reading, Wallace?
Wuthering Heights, David. It was my favorite book when I was at school. It's very romantic.
Wuthering Heights. May I see? Good, is it? Who's this woman blonde?
Morning, John.
Good morning, Wallace.
Did you have a good night's rest?
Yes, thank you.
Good. English newspapers.
Yes, you and I went ashore together.
How very thoughtful of you.
We rather wish we hadn't.
Why?
Well, they're all 2 days old.
Well, His Royal Highness won't mind. He'll be delighted to catch up with the news.
Could have kept till Genoa.
Holiday Prince plays truant. I see what you mean. Even the Times. At a season when most of us are reluctantly returning from our well-earned annual holidays, it is disturbing to hear reports that a personage of note is currently breaking his engagements in order to prolong an already extensive vacation. How foolish they are. They'll lose him if they're not careful.
Come and have breakfast.
The last morning.
In Como, yes.
Well, it was stolen time.
Yeah. What about the future, Wallace?
That's for you to say, David. Many would say I'd had enough already. To be the king's favorite has always been considered an honorable position.
Well, that's trouble. Because when I am king, both our positions will be very different from what they are now.
You mean a prince is pardoned if he amuses himself, but a king is expected to be serious.
I'm not amusing myself with you, Wallace. You know that.
I know.
That's how they'll see it. They won't really mind it until I'm the king. You said that many would say you'd enough already. You content with it? Could you be content with it? If this were the only way, then would you be content with it?
Are you trying to tell me, David, that you have no say in the matter? Are you trying to tell me that it's this or nothing?
Custom is very strong.
Nice customs courtesy to great kings.
What's that?
Shakespeare, Henry the Fifth. Nice customs courtesy to great kings.
I wonder, could I get away with it?
What's that?
Le roi le veut.
The king wishes it.
Exactly. A new kind of king. A new age. Which I think is ready for him.
What are you saying, David?
What am I saying? Is it your wishes or my wishes?
Remember what I told you, David. We may lose everything if we're too greedy too quickly. To the rest of the world, let's just be non-committal. But you'll play the man when the time comes.
Play the king when the time comes.
And I. Tell me, what part shall I play, David?
Your Majesty, may I present Lord and Lady Romilly?
Lady Romilly.
You cold?
Must be a draft. Don't get up a fuss. This business is soon finished with.
May I present Sir Wilfrid and Lady Woods?
Lady Woods.
May I present Mrs. Ernest Simpson?
What's needed to set your Majesty to rights is a long convalescence in a suitable climate. Sea air.
We didn't think you'd want to go abroad.
You were right.
So Her Majesty thinks you should go again to Bognor.
Bugger Bognor. I'll do all you tell me to, but I'll do it here in London. Now, Lord Dawson, if you'd kindly leave me with the Queen. Has David spoken to you?
No,
He intends to speak to nobody.
so it seems.
For the time being, the thing can go on. Must have something of the sort, I suppose. But we mustn't allow it to stick.
Why not leave it for a few more months? And then if he's still not spoken with you, you could consult with the Archbishop or the Prime Minister.
I'll leave it a few months. We've always known ever since the war that he liked these married women. This one may do no more harm than any of the rest of them.
Kitzbühel.
Yes, it's a charming little town. Skiing's top hole. Now, I thought that you and Ernest might like to join my party there in February.
Of course we like. We couldn't like more, right, Ernest?
I'm very sorry, sir, but I have business in New York in February. Well, you know, shipping, time and tide wait for no man.
Oh, again, Ernest. We missed you so much last summer.
Well, with respect, sir, you'll have to miss me again. But you don't need to miss Wallace as well. I'm sure she'd like to join you.
Well, thank you, Ernest. You're a very generous man. Well, now, what do you say we all go and bid farewell to Jackson?
Jackson?
Yes. Jackson's the cat at the Embassy Club. Now, if you're off to New York soon and we're going to Kitzbühel, we won't be there for a long time. So, let's bid farewell to Jackson.
Both parties are voting.
Yes, I heartily agree, sir. The trouble is that neither will admit to being anything short of perfect.
Ah, well, in which case, perfectly clear. We need some person or persons to have custody of our parliamentary custodian.
Oh, the wisdom of princes, sir.
In fact, Emerald, the idea originated in Juvenal, Septicus Custodia ipsos custodes.
Latin was never my strong point.
Oh, Wallace, don't tell me they teach Latin in American girls' schools. Come to that, do they have American girls' schools?
American girls' schools in my day were very much like English ones, right down to the teaching of Latin and the wearing of flat-heeled shoes.
Latin you say you didn't take to, nor I suppose to flat-heeled shoes.
I don't know, Emerald. I kept a pair by me for many years. Very useful whenever I wanted to kick up my heel.
That I should like to see.
I gave it up when I got married, but who knows in the bracing mountain air of Kitzbühel.
Well, then, here's to Kitzbühel.
Kitzbühel?
Kitzbühel.
Kitzbühel.
Yes, of course, sir. But, you see, the difficulty is, this is the second time within a few months that your Royal Highness has asked me to cancel forthcoming engagement.
Yes, and so?
Well, sir, the King will be displeased and many others offended.
Well, they'll all come round after bit, Hugh.
So then you want to go on from here to Vienna. Now, that means you'll be away from England a further week.
Yes, and then on to Budapest for another week.
Hello, Hugh. Would you like a drink?
Not just now, Wallace, thank you.
You sure?
No, thank you, sir.
Was that all quite clear, Hugh?
Oh, yes, sir. Quite clear. Well, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, I fixed it.
Oh.
I fixed it. Thank you, Hugh. Terribly frosty. Of course, I shall have to make up for it when we get home. Can I fix you a drink?
Oh, no, thank you.
Yes, amongst other things, of course, I shall have to speak to my father about you and me.
No, well, is he well enough? Why worry him until you really have to?
Well, he knows about us, Wallace, and he'll be concerned.
He never concerned himself all that much with your other friendships.
This is very different. That's why I should like to talk to him. I think I owe it to him, Wallace.
David, I thought we agreed it would be better to bide our time.
I should like him to meet you. Of course, if he met you, he'd be won over.
But, David, we have met already. Please, think carefully before you say anything emphatic to him.
Well, all the same. I'd like to come clean with him.
He never speaks either to his mother or to me about anything. But we are both much concerned about this latest friendship.
Well, he has had previous friendships of the kind, sir.
Both the Queen and I think this is more serious.
Such behavior has become far more common and open with our young men since the war. The world won't hold this affair against him. It may even make him yet more popular in certain quarters.
But suppose he kept her on after my death.
Or she might be acceptable to the country until he took a wife. It is, of course, out of the question that he should take her as his wife. But it would do the Crown enormous damage with almost every section of the country if he continued to entertain her as he does presently after he'd married someone else.
So we leave it as it is, for the time being.
We leave it, sir, though I at least cannot condone it. As the bard has it, God send the prince a better companion.
God send the companion a better prince. Then he'd soon be rid of her.
You'd better go quickly, sir. You'll be late joining Her Majesty at the reception.
So I'd rather stay here.
There, that's good. Off you go, sir.
You will come see me off?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Admiral, for the most agreeable evening. I'm so sorry I have to leave you in the middle of it. Good night, Sybil. Good night, Harold.
Good night, sir.
Well, what do you make of all that? Well, she encourages him to be polite and pleasant. We should all be very grateful. Don't you agree, Harold?
Yes, I suppose so. I still think there's something not quite right about it, though. I think I'll pass up the last act. Tart's dying noisily of consumption of a horrid bore. Good night, Emerald. Thank you for the hospitality of your box. Good night, Sybil.
Oh, good night, Harold. Tell me, Sybil, have you noticed her jewels lately? They're so profuse and dazzling, I sometimes think... Well, I don't quite know what to think. Well, they're all absolutely real, dear, if that's what's bothering you. No dressmaker's rubbish Prow Wallace.
Then I don't think, do you, that Mr. Simpson can have paid for them, rich as he is supposed to be. Where is he, by the way?
Well, he's here less and less. Business takes him away a lot, and they tend to arrange separate holidays. She, of course, will be with HRH on someone's yacht again this summer. As for him, they do say he's found consolation in some auroral cottage.
The unimportance of being earnest.
Thank you.
Darling, there's been no chance to talk to my father. Jubilee, Harry's wedding, and now the holiday season.
That'll be over soon. What have you planned to tell him?
I have an overwhelming need of you. I wish to bring you permanently into my life.
You can't argue with your sincerity.
No.
You can't overrule love.
My father can overrule anything in the name of what he calls duty.
David, you say you have an overwhelming need of me and a desire to bring me permanently into your life.
And I mean it. You know I mean it.
Are you prepared to say so to your father?
Yes. But I rather dread doing it. Still, there's one good thing. My brother Bertie is much more like my father. He would make a very suitable king.
David, you mustn't say that. You mustn't even think of giving up the crown. Things will be different after your father is dead. Then there'll be no one to stand in your way.
Only a regiment of canting bishops in both houses of Parliament.
David. Your father's an old man and a sick one. Why worry him with things he won't understand?
If I say nothing, he may call on me to declare my intentions.
No. He'll put it off for the same reasons you have. If you dread what you must say to your father, he dreads what he must hear from his son.
After I'm dead, the boy'll ruin himself in 12 months.
Have you tried speaking to him, sir?
So far, I've followed a policy of wait and see. Now I'm so unwell, I must talk to him. Christmas. At Christmas time, he'll come to me and his mother at Sandringham. I've something to say to you.
Yes, Papa.
Please. Please be more punctual at meals. You've been late twice in the last 3 days.
Is that all you have to say to me, Papa?
Was it such a little thing? Clocks in this house are half an hour fast, by my order. And my father's before me. Should be easy enough to be on time.
Yes, but that's just it. If you know the clocks are half an hour fast, you don't pay any attention. And you end up being late.
I don't end up being late. Have you something to say to me?
No. Only that I'd like a day's rough shooting in Windsor after I leave here, if that's all right.
Oh, of course. Ground needs shooting over. Hope you'll continue to take an interest. That was as near as I could get.
Perhaps you should try again.
We should have found him a wife long ago.
Unlike his brothers. He would never look at anyone suitable.
And it is better he should not marry. I pray to God he will never marry or have children. Nothing will stand between Bertie and Lilibet and the throne.
Special delivery, sir.
My mother would like me back at Sandwich for the weekend.
His Majesty?
Yes. Lord Dawson says no immediate danger, but my mother would like me to go.
I'm sorry, sir. We'd better go to London now and warn the Prime Minister.
When you next see me, my father will be dead.
The voice of acceptance.
I must accept it. I still feel pain, Wallace.
I know. But you've changed, David. I see and I hear there's no longer any panic.
I must go and see Baldwin.
The king's life is moving peacefully towards its close.
I've just been listening to the bulletin over the wireless. They did it well.
I wish I'd heard it.
Well, why didn't you come into the study, Bertie?
I looked at one of the clocks and it said nearly 10, and I thought that the bulletin was at 9:30, so I'd missed it. I forgot, you see, they always kept the clocks here fast.
I'll fix those bloody clocks.
Yes, sir?
Send for the clockman and have all the clocks in this place put back to the right time.
Now, sir?
Now!
The king is dead. Long live the king.